Assalamu alaikum. This is Shakil Ahmad. In this video, I would like to explain about index number. We start with what is an index number. Basically, an index number is a technique of measuring changes in a variable or a group of variable with respect to time or geographical location. So index number basically measures the relative change in a variable or a group of variable. Don't uh, it does not measure the change in absolute quantity or absolute change in a variable. Like if you we want to measure the change in retail price or living cost of a customer, then it is not possible to measure the exact change or absolute change in the prices, but we can see it relatively. We can say that the price change in price is 50% higher or 50% increase as compared to the previous time point or previous geographical position. Index number are meant to study the changes in the effect of such factor which cannot be measured directly. For example, the general price level is an imaginary concept and is not capable of direct measurement as we already discussed. So, through the technique of index number, it is possible to have an idea of relative change in the general level of the price, measuring the relative change in the price level of different commodities or group of commodities. So index number may the change in one variable. Uh, for example, or a group of variable. For example, a basket of commodities or a group of commodities. The technique of index number is used to compare the level of a phenomenon on a certain time point with its level on some previous time point. For example, the price level in 2020 as compared to that in 2001. So we are checking the price level or comparing the price level in 2020 to 2001. So 2001 is taken as the base period. So there are few important steps while constructing an index number. While constructing an index number, you need to focus on these steps. And the first step is selection of a base period or a base year. Base year can be selected in two ways. Either you can fix a base year, uh, some specific year, like if you want to compute index number for 2011, then you can fix the base period as 2010, and you can find the index number for 2011, 2012, 2013, uh, taking the fixed base as 2010. So the base year should be a normal year. There should be no special economic event or political event should not be occurred in that period. For example, if we take 2020 as the base period for 2021 or 2022, then the 2020 is not a normal year. It is uh, a year of pandemics. So it can we can't change, we can't set the year 2020 as the base period. The second option is to change the base period with the current year. Basically, if the current year is the year for which we are computing the index number. So while computing the index number for 2018, we can set 2017 as the base period. Similarly, if we want to compute the index number for 2017, then we take the 2016 as the base period, and so on. So in this way, the base period varies with the current period, and the immediate previous year is considered as the base period in such a method. So this is the chain based method in which the base period varies with the current period. The next step is selection of commodities. After setting the base period, you need to decide the uh, commodities for which you are constructing the index number. The items should be representative of the taste, habits, and customs of the people living in that area. Uh, as you are constructing an index number for a specific area, then you need to uh, collect the commodities on the basis of the general public taste, habit, and their custom. The communities should be representative of the all population, not specific to certain group or ethnic uh, or racial group. For example, some communities can only be bought by the higher class peoples, while some communities are specific to the lower class peoples. So you are the communities you are choosing or you are going to choose for constructing an index number should be representative of the items used by the general public or general mass. So item should be recognizable. Items should be recognizable. It should be clearly defined, and their prices can easily be available. And items should be stable in quality over two different periods. If we are comparing the price of uh, a certain commodity for two periods, then the quality should be the same for the two periods. For example, if we buy a mobile in 2018 and we buy the same mobile in 2019, but the quality or the specification, inner specification of the mobile is changed, then we can't compare the price over the years. The economic and social importance of various items should also be considered, as we already discussed that the communities should be representative of the commodities used by the general public, and the importance of the commodities should also be considered while constructing an index number. The items should be fairly large in number, and there should be a specific higher number of items should be involved, while constructing consumer price index number. We often set 353 items, I think, as the Pakistan, according to the Pakistan Bureau of Statistics. So there should be a fairly large number of units or items should be involved in constructing an index number. All those varieties of a commodities which are in common use and are stable in character should be included. The next step is collection of prices. We need to collect data on prices, as we are generally interested in constructing price index number. So prices are to be collected from those places where a particular commodity is traded in large quantities. As we already discussed, there should be a large buy and sell of that product or item, and should be a representative of the items sold in that market. Published information regarding the prices should also be utilized. You can utilize the published data by, for example, Pakistan Bureau of Statistics or provincial bureaus. You can also use data from newspapers regarding the prices. And in selecting individuals and institutions who would supply price quotations, uh, you should take care of uh, whether there is any biasness in reporting the price. You should uh, make it sure that the price should be valid and accurately reported. Selection of wholesale or retail price depends upon the type of index number. If you are going to construct a general price index number, then you consider the wholesale price of the commodities. And if you are going to construct a cost of living index number, basically the cost of living index number is related to a family budget, means a person's expenditure during a year. So you need to collect the retail price of those commodities uh, while constructing cost of living index numbers. And prices collected from various places should be averaged. After collecting the price, you need to average the prices. So which type of average you have to choose? uh, Generally, or on the basis of theoretical grounds, as we are often dealing with ratios, we should choose the geometric mean as the measure of average, or for computing the average of the index number or price relatives. But in practice, mostly people know and mm, see, they consider it easy to compute arithmetic mean. So in practice, people generally prefer to compute arithmetic mean instead of geometric mean. And the fifth step is selection of weights. As you are computing the average of price relatives or the simple in a simple aggregative method, you need to find the average of price for the current year and for the base year. So while computing the average, you need to assign the weights of the commodities to express their importance. So while constructing a price index, uh, the investigator or the researcher must consider the quantity consumed of that commodity as the weights. For example, a commodity is consumed on a large scale, then its importance should be higher than that of any other commodity whose consumption is relatively low. So we need to choose the weight of the commodities while constructing a price index number. So in constructing a price index number, we consider the quantity consumed as the weights, and while computing the index number for quantity, we take the prices of the commodities as the weights. And the last step is you should know the purpose of constructing the index number. Different index numbers are prepared or constructed with specific purpose, and no single index number is all purpose index number. As we already discussed, there are two types of generally there are two types of index number. One is uh, general price index number, uh, basically which is constructed on the basis of wholesale price, and the second is uh, consumer price index number, or the living cost of living index number, and that is constructed to see the change in uh, consumption or change in price of retail price, uh, and that is constructed for the purpose of uh, knowing the people's uh, purchasing power to buy certain products or a group of products. So these were the six different steps for constructing an index number. After discussing the steps involved in constructing an index number, the next step is the types of index numbers. First First of all, we divide the index number into two categories as simple and composite index number. Simple index number is basically constructed for measuring the change in a single variable. So in simple index number, there is only one variable, and we are comparing the value of this that single variable with respect to time, and we are measuring the change in that single variable. While in composite index number, we measure the change in a group of variables. For example, uh, an index number involving more than one commodities is an example of composite index number, while an index number involving only one commodity is an example of simple index number. So consumer price index number is basically constructed uh, with a basket of commodities or a group of commodities, so it comes under the umbrella of composite index number. There are also further two types of index number: price index number and quantity index number. When index number is constructed to measure the change in prices of a commodity, then we call it price index number. And when we are interested in measuring the change in quantity of a commodity or a group of commodities, then we construct quantity index number. We further divide the index numbers in two main groups, while on the basis of its construction or formula. One is the aggregative method and the other is relative methods. Aggregative method is further divided into simple aggregative formula and weighted aggregative formula. For example, in aggregative method, we just take the average of price for a given year and the base year, and then take the ratio and multiply it by 100 to obtain a change in price, or measure the change in price. While in the relative method, we first compute the price relatives and then take the average at the end. So the relative method is also divided into simple average of relative, which involves no weights, and the weighted average of relatives, which involves weights. So aggregative method has also two types. One is simple aggregative formula and weighted aggregative formula. The simple aggregative formula is very simple and is constructed uh, by taking average of prices for given year and divide by the average of prices for the base year. While the weighted aggregative formula is constructed using four different formulas. One is the Lesper formula, and the Pashi formula, and the Edgeworth-Marshall's formula, and the Fisher's ideal formula. The Lesper formula is basically constructed the weighted aggregative using the weighted aggregative method, taking base year quantities as weight. So we are basically finding the average of P1 taking Q naught as base, and finding average of P naught taking Q naught as weights. And this is the Parshis price index number, which is constructed using the current year quantity as weights. And the Fisher ideal index number is the geometric mean of Parshis index number and the uh, Lesper's index number. This is Lesper's index number and this is Parshis index number. So this is the general formulas for constructing the index number. And the Marshall Edgeworth index number is basically the uh, arithmetic mean of the two index numbers, Lesper's and Parshis formula. Basically, in that formula, in Marshall Edgeworth formula, we take the average of Q naught and Q1 and use the debt average as the weight instead of using Q naught or Q1 alone. So I think these are all about the basics of an index number. In next video, I will try to explain the CPI and how CPI is helpful in computing the inflation or the nominal income of a person. So thank you for watching the video.